Welcome back, guys, to another podcast here on the O'Shea D. Jackson channel. Today, I have something that's a little bit different for this channel, but it is definitely needed. And we have a very, very, very special, very bright brother, one brother that is definitely needed in the community. We ought to exalt certain brothers like this. And he has a channel called the American Investor Show. Now, I want to first of all shout out to Super Sly 75. You know that is, right? Super Sly 75?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, he introduced me to you in your channel, and I want to shout out that brother. But before we start with the interview, kind of let everybody know, who you are, what you do.
Yes, indeed. Well, my name is Brother Sal, and again, O'Shea, thank you for having me on here on your platform. Shout out to all the brothers in the chat room listening and watching now and in the future. Basically, my name is Sal. I go as Brother Sal on the internet. Over the last 5 years, I have been talking about how to trade small cap stocks, preferably under $10 a share here on YouTube. That mission has spread to other things like, just general financial independence. And overwhelming majority of the people who watch me are African-American men, black men, whatever preference you want to use. And that's our mission. That's our goal, is to become financially independent. We understand that many of us aren't starting out with a lot of money. So when I come on the air, it's all about how do I maximize what I have to be able to trade at scale. So that's pretty much been the mission, and it's been a great 5 years. And I'm continuing to put in, shows practically every day on my channel, the American Investor Show. It's a nightly show, as well as I make some videos here and there of some interesting topics that if they come up. But we review the markets, everything from commodities, gold, silver, oil, natural gas, to, everything from Google, Amazon, to, companies like, GoPro, companies that people really don't talk about, but we talk about them in a way that anybody with at least $500 can be able to jump in and start to think about making moves and how to grow, a little bit of capital.
Let me ask you this, because I know that you've been in, at least insofar as trades, in the last 5 years. Yeah. But can you tell me about your life previous to that, and maybe what kind of jobs? Because some people may say, you sound like a very intelligent brother. You come across very well articulated. Can you talk about what you were doing previous?
Yeah, sure, no doubt. Well, I mean, previous to that, man, I was, a sailor. I was in the Navy after high school. Went into the Navy. Actually went to college first. My parents are from Africa. My parents came here. I came to America when I was 5 years old. Mm-hmm. And what happened was when I went to college after high school, I did not have a citizen. I was not a U.S. citizen, so I couldn't get student loans. So I basically ended up with financial debt and had to leave school. And my only option was to join the United States Navy in order to become a United States citizen and eventually be able to get grants and whatnot. So I went to the Navy. Got out in 2012 and had some money saved up. Of course, I was living that reckless sailor lifestyle, living check to check, blowing money, spending money on women and things like that. But toward the last 2 years of my enlistment, I got some money saved up and got out of school, got out of the Navy, went back to college. I was doing distance education during the Navy. So I only did about a year in college, got out with my bachelor's degree, and decided to go to New York because I wanted to become a municipal bond trader. So basically, I wanted to help local communities raise money for hospitals and roads and whatnot, selling their bonds to wealthy Americans. And it's a great job that you can do for either from New York, or a firm can send you to different places to travel and meet wealthy people. When I got to New York, I did everything I could, man, to get put on. And, I was so naive because coming out of the Navy and the military, where black people and white people and Spanish people work together, now I'm in, the financial sphere. And, one, I didn't graduate from a top 10 university. And two, I was black, and I had to really accept that. And that was really for the first time I realized, this is sad because I was maybe, I'm 30 now, so I'm, 22, 23. This is really the first time I've really said, damn, man, I didn't I didn't see it. I honestly, to begin, I'll be honest, I did not see that there was racism on that scale. You know, I felt like if you could do the job, no matter what color you are, you know, you're going to be given the opportunity, because that's how it works in the Navy and in the military period. But going into the corporate world, man, I felt that there was a wall there and I just couldn't break in. I found myself working jobs in the mail room, you know, under people who weren't even as intelligent, I believe, as me. And it was sad and heartbreaking. I got to a point where I literally almost thought about suicide, brother, because when I went out there to New York, I, you know, told a lot of people this is what I was going to do. This was my dream, blah, blah, blah. And here I am just a couple months into it. The $7,000 I had saved up now was pretty much gone. I'm literally living on the couch of somebody who I sort of kind of knew, but yet I couldn't leave because I didn't have the money to leave and I didn't have anywhere else to go. And one day I was on the internet and I just, you know, literally that week I was just praying, God, just give me a breakthrough, give me something, you know, to be able to move up and out of the situation I'm in. And I came across this guy who was talking about how to trade penny stocks. And his name was Tim Sykes, and he was teaching people literally how to trade penny stocks and do it from the comfort of your own home with very little money. And at the time, you know, this is 2014 now, it was just crazy. It was absolutely crazy. No, this is still 2013. Excuse me. This is 2013. It was just crazy. It was just crazy. And I started putting my money in penny stocks promotions at the time. And, you know, $100 would turn into $400 in a matter of like 3 or 4 days. I would put in $400 and it turned into 15 and then 1,600. So all of a sudden I found myself addicted really to, you know, the stock market. And I just ate it all up. I just really just ate it all up. And I found my true hobby, man, which was, you know, stocks that trade under $10 a share, because for a black man like myself who doesn't have a lot of money, or at the time didn't have much money, I could trade at scale and be able to, you know, turn a small bag into double digits, man. And it was insane. I've been better for it. And ever since then, I've gone out of my way to kind of help introduce other people to trading, and it's helped out a lot of other people.
Let me ask you this, because you did graduate from the university, is that correct?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
What was your educational background?
So I got my degree in business management, just a bullshit business degree. I mean, that's basically what it was. I just wanted to get a degree because that's what everybody said, you know, to do growing up. You know, go to college, get a degree. The military thing was just because I had to do it. So here I am. I'm thinking, you know, I'm coming into the world, a U.S. veteran, no felonies, misdemeanors, college degree. I mean, all these companies would love me, right? Hell no. You know, I fell on my ass, man. I had nothing, man. I remember that day just like yesterday, man. Like, you know, how it feels to feel like you've done everything right, and then nobody gives a fuck. And nobody's out there who wants to really help put you in a position to be able to help yourself, you know. And that's why I think I've been able to understand people who come and say, hey, man, I only have $100. What can I do with this? What, you know, and those individuals, first and foremost, you point them to resources to learn, to educate, and then, hey, you know, maybe get a small job on the side to build that up so you can eventually go into the market with more knowledge and then, you know, a better idea of where you can put that money. So I ended up, in New York towards the end, working at T-Mobile for $10 an hour, man. You know, here I am with almost $40,000 of student loans, even though I was getting the GI Bill. I still needed, you know, books and shit like that. And, you know, with no resources, nothing.
Okay. And the reason why I'm asking that is because I'm pretty sure your profile is indicative of many of people in the United States, so that they don't think that, you know, that you have some great advantage over them. Now, you're smart. That's definitely true, from what I can tell. But before we get into the deep kind of inner workings of this interview, we just kind of want to set the tone for the fact that you did have a point of a low point in your life, almost committing suicide at one point. You thought about it at least, and you were dead broke.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that we got that understood, and you read this book, you found this, you were praying and all of these things. Once you read the book, how long did it take you to kind of understand the inner workings of this particular document? And how long did it take for you to actually start applying the knowledge that you learned to actually start doing, pretty good for yourself?
Well, I was pretty lucky as in terms of, when I really started buying and putting money into a lot of these stock promotions, the big thing at the time was getting hot was marijuana. And a lot of these small marijuana companies had gone public on these small exchanges called the over-the-counter market. And they were being promoted by promoters at the time, like Awesome Penny Stocks, which isn't in business anymore, or many other these small promoters that, were really hyping these stocks up. So I had really no choice. I was going right away. I mean, as soon as I saw Tim Sykes' first video, I almost like 20 minutes later, I'd opened up an account at TD Ameritrade, and I put in, literally my last $230. And, a week later, I, was buying promotions and my money was going up. My money was going up. I would say it took about 6 months to really understand what I was doing, what to look for, how to properly do risk management, how to really, distinguish a reputable liquid company to something that's just basically a pump and dump scam. So it took about 6 months, but I be honest that I was lucky to get in when I got in, because that industry was just really getting hot, marijuana, and some companies had gotten public, and I just kind of got in at the beginning.
Okay, cool. So really what happened is you're very opportunistic at the right time, got lucky, and you were probably making money even probably not understanding everything that you were doing.
Oh, absolutely. Right? I had no idea what I was doing. No idea what I was doing. I mean, my first video on my channel is back in 2012. And I go back and watch, and I'm like, man, I'm just sounding like a hype guy, because I don't really know what the hell I'm talking about in that video. But I was so excited, man, because I had turned, this 230 something that to almost $5,000, man. And this wasn't even, I think it was like maybe 88 days, 90 days. And again, this is all basically playing pumps, these guys sending out hype emails to get people to buy these stocks. And I was just right at the right time at the right moments. But that's penny stocks, that it can multiply 100, 200, 300, over thousands % in a matter of, sometimes moments to days, or sometimes over a course of a couple months.
Okay. So let me do this, brother. I just want to kind of, reiterate what you've said. And shout out to Mac for the $20 super chat, brother. I appreciate you. You got in at a good time. Yeah. We're making money, even though you didn't understand all of the inner workings of what you're doing. And even at that pace, it took you about 6 months. And the reason why we're setting that precedence, because if somebody's going to get involved in this, it seems like what you're going to probably tell them is going to take you longer than 6 months. And then you might not make as much money as you did when you first started. Is that right?
Well, it could very well take, depending on, again, how much you have to work with. Because, trading is about scale. So the more money you have, the more opportunities you can take advantage of, and then the better returns you get. Right. So and then you don't necessarily get affected too much by slippage, which is the cost of trading, because there are fees involved. So, that depends, too. It depends on how much you're working with. But yeah, I think somebody starting out today, unfortunately, if you didn't start at the beginning of the year where we had this incredible run in the stock market, and you weren't able or smart enough to take advantage of that, yeah, you are probably now looking into a situation where you're probably going into what could be starting a bear market now, or a correction, and it could be a very tough time for you. So yeah, there are cycles in this industry where, if you come in at the right time, you can literally get exalted into a situation where you're sitting on a nice bag because you came in at the right time. Or if you come in at the wrong time, when stocks are cooling off, or macroeconomic situation isn't necessarily the best, right? Like where we're going right now, and with political instability here in this country, yeah, I mean, you can end up, losing money or finding yourself in a situation where you're struggling for several months before you work yourself out.
Okay, let me run. Before we do this, we have what I have to do is put this on both channels, because what I ended up doing is put it on my second channel. It gets as many views as my first channel does. We have 67 people watching right now. What I need you guys to do is hit the like button. This stream will go on both channels, O'Shea Duke Jackson main channel and this channel. So I want you guys to go ahead and hit the like button. I want to go take you through some scenarios.
Sure.
If I can. Is it okay with you?
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. So assuming I am a brother, I watch your excellent first class shows.
Okay.
And what I want to do is I have $100 to get started. And I have $100 to get started. I could probably work with about maybe expendable money to put into this, about $150 per month. And I want to kind of get into this, assuming that that's the kind of case. In such a situation, what would you advise somebody like me who doesn't really, I've watched one of your videos. I kind of understand what you're talking about, but I don't really know the inner workings of it. What would you tell a person that would start off with $100 that can put in about $100 to $200 a month into this? What would you tell that person as far as a scenario of what to do or how to do it?
Sure. So, an individual with some, with that amount of money, first thing and foremost, is they need to get some education, because if you had the education, you would know that starting off with that amount of money, you're not going to get really solid returns on that amount of money. Getting started, everybody wants to jump in as soon as possible. But again, the environment has changed from when I started. The promotions that are running now aren't as successful, but there are now cheaper ways to trade. Somebody with, $150, $200, you can get a brokerage account at online through your phone. It's called Robinhood. Robinhood is the broker. It's a completely free trading platform that allows you to trade stocks absolutely free. As I mentioned earlier, that trading is about scale. So being able to get as many shares as possible for as cheap as possible, and then being able to use obviously the stock going in the direction that you're hoping to go in order for you to make money. So
let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but shout out to my brother Patrick Epps for the show. So let's set the expectations.
Yeah.
For those who are listening to this particular interview. I now know, based off of what you told me, $100 is not enough.
That's correct.
So I need to get some education to come to the table. I want to really be able to do this effectively. Can you give me a ballpark figure that I need to really be able to see some good returns or to be effective in this particular field?
I wouldn't trade with anything honestly less than $2,500 today.
Okay.
$2,500 today is by far, I would say, the minimum that you would honestly need to be able to, one, grow that account, to something substantial, two, overcome losses that could occur over a period of time, right? Because your very first trade, you got $100, your very first trade can go wrong, and that's it. You're done. You get a 10% loss. It's pretty much a wrap. You know what I mean? So, yes, I would say $2,500, using positions of at least maybe $250 to $300 should be significant for you. Enough that you can be able to at least build something from that.
Okay, so let me stop here. $2,500 is what you're saying is the bare minimum.
I would say that, yes.
Okay, but if we want to be comfortable here and not do the minimum, we want to come into this game effectively. Can you give me an amount of what you would recommend at that particular point?
Okay, you don't want to do 25, then at least 1,000.
No. I'm talking about 2,500 is the minimum. So we want to do a little bit more than the minimum, right?
Oh,
We
okay. So
want
if you want to do more, you want to be comfortable again. I mean, if you want talking about comfortable and you can do this, make it be 10,000.
okay.
If you can do $10,000, now you're in the ballpark of you got better uh, brokers you can use. So there's
Okay.
several direct access brokers now you can be able to use, like interactive brokers, which is one of the brokers I use.
I mean, I want to just for those who don't know, what is the difference between the direct broker and the indirect broker, if you don't mind?
So a direct access broker is basically a broker that basically can go straight to the pool of basically straight to the market to get your shares. So it's better pricing for a direct access broker than, let's say, if you were to go through TD Ameritrade or Robinhood. Robinhood you give them the order, Robinhood goes to someone else, which is probably a direct access broker. That direct access broker charges Robinhood maybe a certain, percentage on that. But obviously you don't charge because Robinhood is free. But that amount of time that order has to go to hit that even, microseconds can make the difference between, making money on the trade or not making money on the trade. So yes, a direct access.
You said.
Oh yes, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Because you got to understand, man, the difference between trying to get that bid, especially if you're not using limit orders, but you're using market orders, trying to get that tight bid or ask price that you're looking for can make the difference too. It's a lot of other things that go into it, but a direct access broker is definitely going to be a lot beneficial to you if you got the money.
Okay, so let me ask you this about those people who watch your show, and then we'll kind of get into some of the inner workings of what how this works. But you have a person that comes to you and says, "Okay, Sal, I got $4,000." Now, do you have personal clients, or do you just do shows?
I just do the shows. I am not a licensed financial advisor or anything like that. I don't manage anybody's money. I don't want to manage anybody's money. You do what you want, and I'll do me. And I just enjoy sharing the knowledge and talking about this ever-changing industry.
Okay, let me talk to you about this because you may have a client, or not a client, right? Because you don't have clients, but a person that has $4,000 that gets in the game. And I've been watching your show. What would you tell? Is there a specific stock you're telling me to get right now that's hot if I have it? What would you do right now with $4,000? If you have an account with $4,000, what is Sal going to do with that starting off?
Okay, so my show, I come to my show with the idea that, one, you already know at least the basics. So I've never considered myself a teacher or someone who's going to necessarily tell people what to do with their money. The idea is that my show is for people who already know the game, and they bring ideas to me and as well as other people who watch the show nightly. So that's basically what we're doing. We're bouncing tickers off each other, trade ideas, overseeing what's going on in the commodity space, seeing what's recovering, what we can jump on and whatnot. So I'll be fair and honest that my show isn't necessarily geared toward beginners. It's really for people who kind of already know what exactly how to trade, what they like to trade, and we're just bouncing ideas off each other. So, an individual says, what should I do with $4,000? That probably, in itself, for me, I would say that's kind of an inappropriate question because, again, I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm more than happy to show you stocks that are going up, stocks that are going down, commodities that are rebounding or declining and whatnot. So again, I've always thought that, the individuals who watch my show are coming with at least the understanding that they know what they like to trade, how to trade, and already have access to the markets.
Okay, so if I am a person, and because I heard a lot of great things about your particular show, I mean, because wow, you have over 18,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
So I would probably assume at least some of those people may not have been, hip to trading before, like me. Yeah. I mean, I've heard about trading. I got hip to your channel and sub to you and watched a few of your shows. But if I'm a little bit behind the knowledge, and I say, hey, Sal, I know I'm a little bit lost into your podcast, and I know that, you're not here to teach me, from the beginning to the end. what resource are you going to recommend to me? And I think you said it before, but what resources can you recommend for me to kind of get started and me to kind of
Sure.
catch up so I can get on so I can really appreciate the thing you're doing on your show?
Absolutely. So there are, that's the great thing about trading, is that there's so, many different resources. Not all of them, of course, as good, but your broker, preferably, I love guiding people towards TD Ameritrade. Again, Robinhood is free, but Robinhood doesn't have any educational resources. Robinhood is preferably for people, although it's free, they have the expectation that you already kind of know what to look for in that.
Okay.
So that's where the discount comes in. So I would go to TD Ameritrade.
Sure.
There are resources there where the broker teaches you, what to look for, how to trade. In fact, they just bought a company called Invest Tools. Invest Tools, that software, that entire platform within TD was going to be free in October. Right now, you can pay for it, but it'll be free to everyone in October. And they literally have 6-hour courses built in to teach you how to trade. I do also do some affiliate marketing for Tim Sykes. You can go to millionairedaytrading.com or Millionaire Trading Academy, millionairetradingacademy.com. And you can go ahead and take advantage of his opportunities there. Other resources completely free, stockcharts.com. Stockcharts.com has what they call a chart school. So you can go and learn incredible, detailed, deep information on technical and fundamental analysis, definitions of trading, words and the verbiage of the financial industry. Again, you can get that completely free at stockcharts.com and just go up there and click Chart School as well.
Let me ask you this, because I know that we live in an age where, people like yourself and me, we actually, we're making money online.
Yes.
You have a YouTube channel, you probably make money off of that. We live in an age where people like the internet, but then we do have people who are more, they like face-to-face things.
Yeah.
Is it possible that some of these people that want to set this account up, could they do these things in person? Like, hey, I want to go to a broker, sit down, have a conversation, get my account started that way, get my investment started that way. I want to actually go and physically sit down with the person I want to do this with and kind of get in the game that way. Because you do have people who do prefer sort of the in-face.
Sure. Yeah, so that's kind of the old-fashioned way to do things, though. And yes, you can do it that way. I mean, there's still Charles Schwab, E-Trade, who else? TD Bank. So you can go to your neighborhood brokerage house and they will manage your money for you. But here's the thing. They typically don't want to even have a conversation with you if you don't have at least 100K liquid. Just being honest.
Wow, yeah, 100K.
So at least 100K, because you got to understand, when you're dealing with a stockbroker or a financial, what's the word for it? I don't want to say financial analyst, but financial planner, excuse me. That person gets paid off of your, contribution to that fund or that management fee, right? So you've got to have a bag for him to be able to make money off of. So if you're walking into his door with, a couple $100 or just a couple $1,000, and he's charging, 2% or 3% or whatever, there's nothing for him to take from that. So that's why internet trading has really democratized the idea that somebody who doesn't have a lot of money can be able to play, because for many years, and that's why Black people among other things, find ourselves really kind of in a situation where we've missed out this incredible growth that's taking place in the stock market, is because for many years we couldn't afford to play. There were many financial professionals who wouldn't even, acknowledge or want to be willing to work with us because we didn't have money to begin with. Trading online enables you to start with very little bit of money and at least get a foot in the door and start to take, small positions and then grow them over time.
Let me ask you this. I'm gonna get back to the other investments, but I keep hearing in the chat as we were doing, and once again, I have 86 live viewers today. Brothers, appreciate all of you guys in here. Want you to like the video though, okay? Because you know how we do over here. When you get your black ass over here, you're gonna like these goddamn videos. I'm not playing with you Negroes today. put that damn collard green sandwich down like this damn video. All right. Now, my bad, Sal.
No problem. Do your thing, man.
My people, I got to talk to them crazy every now and then, you know. They like that abuse sometimes. But no, listen, on a serious tip, I'm hearing a lot about, Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I'm hearing a whole lot about it. I don't understand it. I just know that if I would have invested in it in 2007 or 6, I'd be rich right now.
Oh, absolutely.
What do you know about, the kind of the Bitcoin thing? Is it something that you deal with?
See, that's the thing, man. Bitcoin, to be honest with you, man, I'm not a believer. And here's the thing, man. Bitcoin, the first biggest transaction for Bitcoin was 50,000 Bitcoin for a $15 pizza. That was, you can Google this. You can literally Google it. That was the first big transaction. Somebody gave somebody a pizza, $15 pizza for 50,000 Bitcoin. Now, the hype around Bitcoin is the idea that, the American dollar is inherently worthless, and basically the full faith and credit of the United States is no longer what it used to be, right? And that idea of having this currency that doesn't necessarily continue to print itself and isn't controlled by a central bank will be able to, eventually become the prime choice of the way to do business. I think the technology has a future, but I don't believe Bitcoin itself has a future because in itself, like the United States dollar, it's a fiat currency. It's not backed by anything. It doesn't have, there's no country that's going to, come and put its full faith and credit against it. It's just out there. You know what I'm saying? And it's continuing to go up, 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 and up. And I honestly think that this is looking like a situation where we're talking about, I can't remember the date, but when people were going crazy about those lilies up in Europe and everybody was trading lilies and shit like that. I think this is all going to come crashing down, and it's only a matter of time. It's really only a matter of time, man. This is a currency that when the lights out, it's worthless, man. It's a currency where it's more expensive in physical form than it is in digital form. If you want to get a Bitcoin, like an actual coin, it's almost 10 times what it costs to actually get an actual, to get it, digitally. So I just don't understand the hype behind this. I think you got a lot of brothers being carried away by this. And here's the thing. The brothers who are making some, a little bit of money on Bitcoin, you let's be honest, you're not really making, you don't own 10, 20, 30,000 Bitcoin. You see what I'm saying? So although it's going up, we got brothers out here making small gains and hyping, getting a lot of other brothers into this. A lot of sisters are getting involved into it too. And I want us to understand that we have to not put all our eggs in this one basket called Bitcoin, because one, there are many other cryptocurrencies that, I got to be honest with you, have better technology. I've looked into that, have better technology that are gaining in popularity as well. So you gotta look into other things too. So I'm not saying that, yeah, but go ahead. No, go ahead, O'Shea.
Because you made a point. Shout out to Rufus. He says the same thing that you said. I want to read his super chat. I like Sal. Penny stocks are good options. And futures are also things folks should look into after getting the proper education. So let's talk about that, because you did give us the education on the penny stock ordeal, and that was a really great thing. Let me take Rufus's question and talk about these other cryptocurrencies that you feel have a better chance on the market for whatever reason versus or in comparison to Bitcoin, because you're talking about that. Can you elaborate about the future of the other cryptocurrencies that you're talking about?
Sure. So again, I'm not a pro at that space, but I've heard of some other ones. There's one that I really, when I was looking into the space, I like is Ethereum. I'm not pronouncing it right. Ethereum or Ethereum. That one, from what I've heard, has a better technology. There's also one that's not popularly traded called Black Coin. That's gaining a little bit of popularity. That one's a little bit of a, kind of lower tier one, because I believe there are over 100 cryptocurrencies now. So it's getting, it's kind of getting a little crazy in that space. But Ethereum, I would believe, is, I think, a better long-term play, I think, than Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin benefits from one being the most popular out the gate. I don't believe it was the first out the gate, but one most popular out the gate. Obviously, the standard right now that everybody's talking about. But there are some of these other ones. Again, off the top of my head, I can't name them all. I got to be honest with you there. But have better technology. So if you want to get into the cryptocurrency space, understand the technologies behind these cryptocurrencies and how the technology is improving, and that there are some cryptocurrencies that have better technology than Bitcoin that are slowly gaining in popularity and that are now where Bitcoin was 5, 6, 7 years ago. So if you've missed Bitcoin, you can get into these other cryptocurrencies that have better technology, and that have a better, honestly, upside than where Bitcoin is now. Bitcoin, yes, it's what I think 4,000 now, above 4,000. I've heard people saying Bitcoin 10,000. So yeah, Bitcoin may have more to go, but I think you've got better upside potential if you've already missed Bitcoin, to take some of these cheaper cryptocurrencies where you can actually buy one full amount of the cryptocurrency. People getting into Bitcoin, you can't even buy one Bitcoin, bro. So I'm telling you, what kind of gains are you getting if you can't even get one Bitcoin?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? One Bitcoin is $4,000. You can't, if you ain't putting up $4,000, who cares if it goes up 4% tomorrow? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm saying go to these smaller, inexpensive ones where the upside is in your favor. Again, trading is about trading at scale, getting as much as possible, as early as possible, for as cheaply as possible. That's where you make money.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Let me do this real quick. You guys know we have a hot show right now. We have the Great Investor Interview. What I want to do is I want you brothers to go and subscribe to this channel. Now, even though many of you may or may not be educated in this, the brother is a powerful brother. He does this at the bottom of his heart. He doesn't charge anybody to do this, I don't think, at least on this channel. Nope. He's just trying to give the community and people different ideas and investing. If you heard his story, it's very touching. It's very powerful for those of you who missed it. So what I want to do is this. Go into the actual comment section if you guys are seeing me spamming, okay? And that is his YouTube profile. What I would like for all of you to do that's watching this channel is we have 97 people watching. I need everybody to go into this particular chat and subscribe to him because he is an investment channel. He came over to do a show with us. I've been trying to get a show with him for at least 2 to 3 weeks. And I believe you're in Canada, right?
Yeah, I was in Canada visiting. A lot of Africans live up there, so because that's one of the countries that accepts us. So I was up there and visiting some family, friends, and whatnot.
Let me talk to you about that because just a little. What part of Africa are you from?
So I'm from the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Okay, are you a French speaker?
Man, I understand it, can read it, but my speaking, unless I'm in a room after a couple hours with a French speaker, it kind of comes back. But off the top of my head, man, it's crazy. I don't know how that works, but I don't speak French very, very well just by myself.
Were you in in the Montreal area?
No, I was actually in Toronto. I was in Toronto.
Okay. So yeah, big ups to the Democratic Republic of the Congo. It's at least 80 million people there, something like that in that country?
Oh man, I'm sure more than that, because we don't really have an actual government. So I don't know, whatever numbers come out of there is probably wrong, brother. I think every African country probably has 10 million plus that's not even being counted. I've always believed that when it comes to those population and government numbers, they just spit stuff out. But I think that country maybe 120 or 150 million. Who knows?
Wow. Okay. And that's a francophone country. So
French company.
All right. Yeah. Patrice Lumumba, the first prime minister of that country. Okay. So I did videos on that particular brother. But let me ask you this. How was it? I mean, your family is coming from because it seems like your family and you have a history of overcoming some great obstacles. Because number one, if your parents are from the Democratic, they were born in the Congo, yes?
Yes. We came here as refugees under the refugee status in America.
So you were born in the Congo also?
Yes.
Okay. So your parents were born in a French-speaking country.
Mm-hmm.
Did they have problems learning English?
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, coming here, at 5 years old, I my parents till today still have a very harsh accent, although they understand and speak English fluently now. They still have a very harsh accent. Obviously, they came here as adults, right? So, yeah, man, we moved to America. First city we actually ended up in was New Orleans, Louisiana.
Okay.
You know, the Catholic Church there at the time, you know, and still today has a very powerful influence there with helping refugees settle in America and whatnot. So, you know, they gave us basically clothes to put on our back and whatnot. And, you know, so I'm very grateful to those people. I remember going to school and having the kids call us African booty scratchers and all that, because we came as a group. It was us and many other African children as well. So it was tough times having parents who don't speak English and having to, you know, translate, because at the time I could speak pretty well, just coming from the country. But yeah, oh yeah, I remember those days.
So let's talk about this, because this is even more powerful, because we have a lot of brothers who have, and I'll come out and just say it. We have a lot of people in the Black community with a very big self-defeated mentality. Yeah. I've been accused for being called a coon for that, but we're just going to take a little bit off of the finance. We're going to just talk a little bit off the record. You are a brother that came as a refugee to this country. Parents not understanding English, dirt poor. Mm-hmm. How did your parents find? How did they become able to like work and things like that?
Sure. Well, my parents got a green card. My parents, you know, you came on the refugee status. Eventually, you translates into a green card. My mom eventually started working with Catholic charities. They had at the time, I believe they still do, but they have child care centers. And my mom started as a sitter through the child care centers, and eventually worked up to become a director for Catholic charities. And there are many little child care centers that they operate in a certain district. I don't want to give her a location or whatnot. Yeah. My father eventually, you know, he got his green card as well, was able to work, started a cleaning business, carpet cleaning business. And, you know, was able to eventually, you know, get to start with one truck, then two trucks, and three trucks, and eventually sold that business for quite a bit of money. And now doing a lot of exporting business from here to Africa, with everything from clothing to cars and whatnot. So we basically, you know, my father started a business. My mom really just kind of worked her way up. So that's basically what we did, just kind of start from the bottom. And I think that's something I learned from my parents too. Start from where you are, understand that things take time, and be diligent with your work and focus, you know, because I think that's also too, a lot of brothers don't focus. That's one thing I've noticed that separates me between a lot of, you know, other brothers that, you know, a lot of us tend to jump, you know, one day we're in real estate, one day we're in insurance, one day we're in some MLM bullshit. And one day, you know,
stop the show. Repeat that again, because I think that is imperative that these brothers hear what you have to say. Can you say that one more time, brother?
Well, I think sometimes we tend to jump too much from things, you know. You know, one day we're in insurance and in real estate, you know, 2 weeks from now, and then next year I mean, I've seen so many brothers in my lifetime, guys that I went to school with, you know, it seemed like they're changing their Facebook job every 3 months or something like that. And there's some kind of other industry on the business. I'm like, I don't know how you're able to grow yourself if you're not planted and rooted in a certain occupation. You have to choose one thing and focus all your attention on that one thing. Right? And it may not work at the beginning, but as you gain knowledge, as you gain skill, as you gain you know, the ability to do that craft, you'll become more successful. You know, too many of my friends, I've seen it, you know, in my own life, I guess, with my friends, you're in too much shit. You're in too different. It's just, you need to pick one thing, laser focus on it, understand it's not going to work overnight, and just network your ass off, learn about it, because this is what you want to do for the rest of your life, and understand that you don't have no plan B. This is what your plan is going to be, period. And you ain't got to be, you know, the Warren Buffett. I'm not, if it happens for me, great. But guess what? Life is really good at $100,000 a year, brother. Life is really good at $80,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? Working from home. So the dream, yes, is to become a millionaire, but I understand that it takes steps, it takes, trading at scale, and it takes discipline to eventually allow things to happen. I have no doubt in my mind, by the time this hair is covered with gray and, I got I'm going to be a millionaire. Why? Because I laser focus on my craft. I don't do anything else. And I just don't allow other people to come in with different business ideas or different to knock me off my goal. Not at all.
Let's talk about that, because I believe that is very, very imperative to be successful in anything. I think a lot of Black people, and I think especially African Americans, when you're born in this country, there's so many opportunities that we get bamboozled with, so many things that are available to us.
Yeah.
And as you have emphatically stated, you're doing too many things at one time. And I think that what your own father, who had one truck, started off with 2 trucks, and then 3 trucks, and then sold that business, then got into import export, it seems like, right?
Yes.
He has laser focus at one thing at one time. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. So I think that what we want to do is, for you brothers who are really interested in starting into this, let this be your only business, if this is what's going to be.
Absolutely.
If you want to do well, like if you want to get to the level of what he's at, we urge you to really understand what he's saying at that point. We don't want you to be doing this, other things. Focus on learning this first, then move to something else. Now, so a brother just asked a question in the super chat, and I want to marijuana industry stocks in Canada. That's a guy from Canada. Shout out to Viper Black. Do you know anything about that? Or
yeah. So the marijuana industry right now isn't where it was even 3 years ago. It's really beaten up. Right now, we have an attorney general here in America that honestly is living in the past in terms of marijuana policy. The government really hasn't caught up to the industry. Mentally, the government is always tends to be behind business. So when it comes to Canada, they pretty much legalized it. I think they have legalized it. So the marijuana industry in Canada is booming. The stocks haven't necessarily performed very well, though. Is there still potential? Yes and no. No, as in, no, because we have the idea is that although Canadian industry and Canadian stocks are great, it's not America, right? It's not trading. Many of those companies don't trade on our exchanges. There are some that do. But at the end of the day, man, we need to get legalized on marijuana. And when that happens, that's when the investment opportunity is really going to make real sense. But investing in Canada right now, the returns aren't there for it to really make sense just yet to really be excited about it. I think if you were there at the beginning when they just first listed and whatnot, I think, yeah, you've made a shitload of money. But day to day right now, I'm looking at some of those stocks and they're not really doing much. So
let's talk about the beginning of the year, because you said something about at the beginning of the year, if certain people were astute, there were certain things they could have did. So let's assume that I knew you in the beginning of the year and I had like $4,000. And what could I have done if I had knew certain things that you were privileged to know?
Oh man, I mean, right now, if you know at the beginning of the year, I'm looking at not even penny stocks. You can look. Well, let's take a penny stock. Let's take a stock like AMD, ticker AMD. AMD, which makes many of the microprocessors in your computer. Right. That at the beginning of the year traded below $10 a share. Now it actually just recently hit a high of 13. Now it's selling back. But that was a stock you would have bought at $6. You would have made over 100% on your money from the beginning of the year. So there are, the Trump, deregulation policy and his tax plan, or the idea of a tax plan, has gotten, investors really excited to buy a lot of these tech companies like NVIDIA or STM. That's an electronics manufacturer. Google, Amazon. I mean, those are all companies or you can go into what are called exchange traded funds. If you can't afford the per stock price, you want to do options, you can trade, exchange traded funds, which give you access to actual industries and sectors for relatively cheap prices. So yeah, I mean, these guys have made returns of 30 to 35% on their money from January. And then again, that's based on options, because that's the underlying, right? That's 35% on the cost of the actual stock. But those options have multiplied 1,000, 2,000, 3,000% from where they were back in January.
Let me do this. And once again, shout out to my bro Todd W41 been following me since I had about 200 subscribers. He did cuss me out. I cussed him out, but he's a good brother. He still supports the show. He's been watching me since I first started. Shout out to Al Cheddar. I didn't get a chance to watch the beginning, but watch the whole stream. Thanks for this. Yeah, a lot of brothers, man, been wanting me to bring you on for a long time. They've been asking for this particular show. First of all, my buddy, I want to shout out to my moderator, High Def. He's been asking me to bring on somebody that was financial illiterate like yourself. Okay. And I know a little small points about this, but I'm not nowhere on your level. So this is the reason why.
Well, everybody can get. That's the thing. Everybody can get there. It's just the willingness to want to take some time, man. And as you said it as yourself, man, brothers, sometimes we just get distracted because there's so many other things. And I think if there's one thing that we can learn from other cultures is the idea of just having that self-discipline to cut yourself out from, the bullshit that is sometimes America. America is all about distracting you, brother. It's all about having you focus on this and then focusing on that and jumping on this and that. It's ADD, that's how television literally is. If you watch the news, they put you in a different conversation every 3 minutes. That's basically what they're trying to do. So we got to stay focused on whatever it is we pursue.
Let me ask you this, because, when I watched your shows a few times, I hear this term penny stocks.
Yeah.
And I really want to know, is this like buying a stock from a penny, or is that, can you explain what that term actually means?
Sure. So penny stocks are basically any stock under $10 a share.
Okay. Okay.
That's basically
$10 a share. Okay.
Under $10 a share is considered a penny stock. Now, depending on who you're talking to, that could also mean a stock that trades over the counter, which is basically not on the major exchanges you could be familiar with, which is NASDAQ or Dow Jones. So you may be talking about a company that trades, it's a very small company, not much information, not much any real assets, or not very popular, not very well known, right? That trades on this electronic exchange called the OTC markets. And these are very, very small companies that trade even below a penny a share. All right. So these are stocks that trade literally at a fraction of a penny. So these stocks, although incredibly risky, they offer insane amount of upside if you can catch them at the right time. But they suffer from, massive, corruption, if that's the proper word for it. They tend to be very illiquid. They go in cycles. So they'll be hot one day or 3 days or sometimes 6 months, and then all of a sudden they just die on you. Manipulation, that's probably the better word instead of corruption. So they're very, very risky. And I only really push that on traders who already have a grasp of trading and are willing to put, a little bit aside that they're willing to lose. I mean, you literally got to be willing to lose all your money to trade stocks that trade at a fraction of a penny. Those are really for experienced people. I would never ask a beginner to even consider trading stocks that are that illiquid and that easy, and that easily manipulated.
Okay, cool. Let me do shout out to Todd W41 for the $50 super chat. He gonna be cussing me out by next week, I can guarantee, because we go with these back and forth. But he's a good brother, man. Shout out to him. He's been supporting. Like I said, I've been trying to really get better on the content and bring more educated people here to talk about these things. So let me do this real quick. Okay. I have 99 people watching right now. Again, shout out to Top 41. What I want you brothers to do, like the video, okay, and So like the video, get the likes up. Now, we're going to talk about a tangible plan for you brothers out there to get into this industry if you so desire. Because I do know some people who do Forex trading. Is this the same thing that you're talking about? Or
Forex trading is a losing game, man. It's a, you know, I would love to meet just one brother who is honestly able to pay his bills trading Forex. I would love to meet just one, because every brother that I've seen that trades Forex, either you're in some kind of multi-level marketing game or you ain't really making no money trading Forex. And again, it's not to, insult or anything like that, but we've got to be honest about the ability to make money in whatever it is we pursue, especially when it comes to business. As black men, we got to be honest about our abilities to succeed. And Forex, you got to understand that there are banks that trade within in the marketplace, in the interbank. Yes, it's a 2 or 9 trillion or whatever $1 billion industry, but these banks have 400 analysts sitting at a desk trying to figure out where the dollar and the yen is going to go. And here you are sitting in your pajamas at home thinking you can outdo these people. It doesn't work. And so many of these people aren't making any money. And in fact, more people lose at Forex than win.
It's funny. While you said that, Rufus just said most people lose at Forex because they haven't committed themselves to getting the. Okay, so same thing. So let me ask you this. Trading penny stocks, and let me ask you this. When you were looking for something to do as far as what you're getting into now, did you ever trade Forex and then stopped, or did you never do it?
No, I never. I mean, I've dabbled in it as I was, as I've been trading other things, but I've dabbled in Forex, and Forex is the only game in town where you can put $100 in and literally watch the trade go negative. You can end up in a situation where you owe the broker money. It's insane. I mean, it's ridiculous. And, the macroeconomic environment that is Forex in terms of the numbers that come out, you don't even know when the data's coming out. Data just drops. It just, boom. Hey, some company Canada just announced that they no longer allowing beef to cross the border. All of a sudden, boom, the US dollar drops 2%. I mean, you don't even know where these things are coming from. When we talk about investing in stocks, we're talking, particularly penny stocks, we're talking about companies that have maybe 1 or 2 services that are located here in America. We understand the underlying business and their services that we understand, we can comprehend, they're easy to follow. We know when news is coming out. You watch the chart and you can figure it out. Whereas in Forex, you can't follow the news. You're not big enough to really be able to stay on top of the macroeconomic environment that is Forex. You just don't have it.
Okay. And once again, shout out to Shelly Sterling. She said, thanks for sharing the knowledge. I want everybody, while we have the brother on, and a lot of people are agreeing with you, man. So you must know what you're talking about. Let's go and subscribe to my brother here. Okay, Brother Sal, Happy Penny Stocks. Want you to keep supporting this brother. Okay, he's up and coming. Actually, he is. He's already came because he's over 18,000 subscribers. Now, let's talk about this. For the brothers out there who have watched your videos, they've heard the knowledge here.
Yeah.
Okay. A tangible plan. So we know that to get into this game comfortably, we're looking at about $2,500. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
While these brothers are learning this craft, it might take them 6 months to a year.
Okay.
And I think I heard you say, you want to make sure you got your job, the money coming in from your job to keep this catapulted, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Would you recommend, brothers getting maybe another job or?
Well, I mean, whatever's going to take for you to build, your account. I mean, even like say for me, although I make money trading, and now I've gotten to a point where my account is large enough where I can literally be paid from the stock market, right? So I still do affiliate marketing. So anything you can do to create traffic flow of income to you, keep doing it. And if that means taking a second job to help build that funds up, then do whatever you got to do. Maybe working extra hours. You got to understand you're taking this whatever amount of money because your intent is to grow it into something fruitful. Mm-hmm. You got to be serious and be willing to go all out to grow that.
Let's talk to you about affiliate marketing because Now, I really heard about it. And have you ever heard of a guy named Aaron Clary on here?
Aaron Clary. The name is familiar.
Yeah, he's a white guy. He's been on my show before. Actually, wrote a book called The Black Man's Guide Out of Poverty. He's an economist.
Oh, you know what? I heard about that book. I heard about
Yeah,
that book. Yeah. Okay.
he's a good buddy of mine. He's been over here before. His ad runs. I have actually a website. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called the negromanosphere.com.
I've heard of it. Yep.
You've heard of it? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've heard of it.
You know that it's my blog.
I've been to the website. Again, I've watched your videos, O'Shea. I've watched your videos before, so I know it's a website you talk about. Okay. But I'm a member. I think you have a forum too, I believe.
Yeah, there's a forum. I don't really do anything on it, but
forum. But yeah, I definitely have seen the site.
Let me give you some numbers on the site. I have this month 377,000 site visits. I've been dabbling in affiliate marketing. I mean, I've been thinking about it. I don't have any ads really on my site except for the people, and I don't charge them anything. Steve the Dean's ads over there, Aaron Clary's ads, Alan Roger Curry's ads over there. Should people who are maybe like me, those people who are YouTube, even the brothers that are there, is it worth it to get into affiliate marketing? And can you
Absolutely, brother. I mean, that's the one thing about sometimes us as Black people is that we have a tendency to be scared to say, hey, I'm selling something and this is what it costs. And if you don't, and this is what it is, other white people on YouTube, they have no problem saying, hey, click my link, click my Amazon affiliate link and I'll get some credit for this, or go to my, what's that thing where they're raising money now to fund you and all that. So yeah, man, brother, do it. Do it. Absolutely. I'm an affiliate for Tim Sykes. Again, my website is millionairetradingacademy.com. Okay. If you pick a product on there, yeah, I get commission for it because we're moving into an information-based society, brother. Your only competition moving forward now is probably going to be a machine. So the knowledge is going to be heavily priced and it's going to get more expensive. And people are spending money now on information more than they ever have before. So if somebody like you who is an influencer or who has the ability to bring something to people, yes, you should be compensated for that. And people should understand, yes, if I like this product, I should click whatever link he wants me to click because I understand that I got it from him. And I think I should, use his link and by acknowledging him, for that service. So absolutely, brother, do it. It's free. And, you're paid by, the people who already trust and admire you. And it's nothing wrong with that. It's absolutely nothing wrong with that. White folks don't have no problem making money online. We should have no problem making money online.
That's true. Because, let me speak to that real quick. And let me get one more like for 100. I understand that there are, I just talked to Ringo, shout out to Master Ringo TV Raw. He sent me a message on Facebook about YouTube advertising. Yeah. And what I've noticed is there's been a lot of YouTube private videos, right? So because we don't make any money really on AdSense anymore. Yeah. And you can, I don't know about you. Is your CPMs high for your?
Yeah, I mean, yes, definitely. I mean, my CPMs are like $12, $13. Finance channels, we have some of the highest, most expensive ads on the internet. So, for my YouTube channel, I don't necessarily need, 100,000 subscribers to make money. I was making money really with like 3,000 or 4,000 and money was already coming in. So, but again, along with the affiliate marketing, it's been very, very fruitful. So even when they had the little ad crisis, I had no problems with that because I have, the affiliate marketing to stand back on.
So basically, a channel like yours was not even affected.
No, not at all. I mean, again, I wasn't 100% depending on the YouTube income. Again, I've always thought YouTube as, the platform, but being able to get in front of people and say, hey, man, click this link, or introducing other people and say, hey, I got the link to their product. If you want access to this brother and his services, click this link. And I get a commission for, helping him, introduce his products to the people who like what I do. And, I've got websites up there and whatnot. So it's a great way to make money when you sleep. And we should be doing it, brother. We have, there's no doubt about it because we as Black people spend so much time online, on Facebook, on Instagram. We should be making money in that space by far.
Let me ask you this, because a lot of brothers had a problem with some YouTubers who are now like doing videos or charging like 99 cents to watch it. And with our group of people, I know that you're an immigrant, but you're pretty much into the African American
Yeah,
culture.
no doubt.
You might as well be one of us now. You see the problems that we do have with brothers, you know, people having a problem with us making money
Yeah.
doing what we're doing, even though you're providing a service. Now, I don't have the knowledge that you do have, but I have enough sense to, if I don't have the knowledge to reach out and bring somebody that knowledge that does know how to do it. We do have that problem as Black people, and I'm glad you noticed that, but we damn sure don't have no problem going buying Jordans.
Yeah. Well, again, it's just, it's the lack of, what's important to you. You know what I'm saying? What's honestly important to you. And also it's a scarcity mindset when it comes to just everything. You have a lot of brothers out here who have a scarcity mindset when it comes to spending money on things that can honestly make them better. You feel like, oh man, I got to keep my money close. And I don't know, because they're not sure of what the returns could be on spending that money. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Yes, it's only 99 cents, but brother, you're going to get some entertainment out of that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you ain't going to ever make 99 cents to watch it again, or watch something else, or to buy something else. So we've got to understand as Black men, not to come and not to think at a scarcity mindset. Understand that money is energy. That's why they call it currency. So we've got to understand that we've got to open our mind and have an abundance mindset, because it's all about, it's the mind, it's knowledge, it's a lot of things that encompass, becoming wealthy, right? It's the mindset changes everything. I work from a platform of abundance. All right. The world will give to me what I give to it. So I'm abundant with the information I provide. I'm abundant in seeking knowledge and implementing that knowledge in my trading and my life and my personal life. And I believe that energy called money or currency will come to me because of it. And it's been doing that.
So, let me talk to you about your YouTube channel and how YouTube. How long have you been on YouTube, by the way?
I've been on YouTube since. All right, so I've had a couple channels. I dabbled in it back in 2008 or so, for like a year or two. That I got off of it, and I came back with this channel in 2012.
Okay, and so how long have you been consistently? Do you think on YouTube?
I would say the last maybe 15 months have been consistent. 15 months. Yeah, 15 months have been consistent.
And how has being on YouTube impacted your life?
Oh man, a lot. I mean, it's so crazy because I got recognized one time at the airport, and I had a sister recognize me. I didn't even know I really had a lot of Black women watching me like that, but sister recognized me. I've had other brothers recognize me when I'm out and about. So I don't consider it celebrity by any chance. But I'm so grateful that people get something out of me and are willing to hear me out, and I'm grateful for that. But it's changed my life, man. YouTube has definitely changed my life. It's put me in a situation where now I don't have a job, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been able to reach out and create platforms for myself that bring money to me. YouTube has been a big help for that. I've been able to attract other traders, man, who come into my show every night, who are able to give me ideas to make even more money from. So when you give, it gives back, man. It really is. Currency is energy, man. And I put that energy out there. It comes back to me. And that's what, YouTube has been grateful for, and women treat you differently too. So,
let's talk about that. Yeah. Since you mentioned it. So, player. How has that helped you also with, and with your personal?
Oh man, it's been solid, man. It's been, I'm not a bragger or anything like that, but I can tell you that Black women who I'm most interested in, I don't date outside my race. Although I like Latinas though, Black and Latina. Can't do no white woman though. I don't know. I just can't do it. But anyway, when it comes to Black women, man, I think I don't get the bullshit that a lot of Black men get. See, because Black women, man, when you really sit down and talk with them, man, they want nothing more than to be able to be in a relationship with a brother who can kind of call his own shots and isn't necessarily a victim to society, man. A lot of Black women when they realize that, I have my own business, I'm kind of doing my own thing, and I'm pursuing a craft, and I just get so much cooperation. You know what I mean? So I see so many brothers.
Say that again for the brothers who probably didn't hear that. You get what?
I get cooperation.
Okay, let's stop the show real quick. Just because, I mean, not to be rude or anything, because here's the thing. A lot of brothers in this part of YouTube, and me and you, we're both college graduates. I'm in Poland. I'm actually a medical student.
Okay.
I've been. I don't know if you know I live in Poland. Did you know that?
Yeah. I did hear that you live in Poland, man. I mean, whatever you got to do it, bro. I know some brothers who went to Cuba for medical school and some other islands, and I mean, there are a lot of Africans who out there who go to Cuba. I mean, school to Poland and other countries up in Europe for medical school. So whatever you got to do to pursue your dream, man, that's what you got to do.
Here's what I want to ask you, because me and you were both considered educated brothers. I've heard a lot from brothers in the ilk, even brothers who are blue collar, make a lot of money. Hey, black women they are not really looking for a brother like the Great American Investor channel. They're not really looking for a brother who is articulate, he's bright, you're astute, you're opportunistic. I hear that a lot from black men that's saying that this is one of the reasons why I date out or outside my race. And I know this is a investment show, but I want to hear your personal take on that. Do you think that black women are avoiding brothers like yourself to date the Pookies and Ray Rays?
You know what? I sat down and had this conversation with another brother, and to be honest with it, I think a lot of those brothers who are having those issues, you got to be honest about the fact that you are going after some low quality black women. Be honest. You are not going after good quality black women. Low quality black women love thugs. They love niggas in the streets. They love, a nigga who ain't about shit. They love black men like that because that's who they are. You know what I mean? They look at those men and they see family members. They see their father. They see the images that they're used to. And if brothers would be honest about the fact that, look, I'm not going after good quality black women, then yeah, I mean, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a woman who's not really feeling you. You're going to get a woman who's not really cooperating with you. That's not really, at your head, because she's not on your level. She's not on your level. Let's be honest with you. But I get it though, because a lot of those low quality black women, they tend to be the ones with the biggest titties, the fattest ass. You know what I'm saying? The fattest ass, big DSL lips. You know what I'm saying? So they tend to be those women. So I understand why you after that. But at the end of the day, man, like, you can't wake up, for the next 30 years of your life with a chick with a fat ass. You know what I'm saying? You got to, at the end of the day, you got to end up with a woman who's going to love you for you, who's going to be able to help you grow your wealth, who's going to be able to, be a partner to you in whatever it is you pursue, who believes in you. So you've got to have eventually the emotional maturity to understand, like, you know what, let me go after a good, wholesome, woman. And you might luck out and find that fat ass, sister who is in church and, loves her family and loves you and whatnot. But, she may not look like a girl in Jet magazine, you know what I'm saying, back in the day. And you just got to have to be, again, emotionally disciplined and intellectually disciplined to understand that, man. But, again, don't. And then a lot of brothers too are overvaluing a lot of these low quality women. You're putting too much value into her. You know what I'm saying? You're hyping these girls up a little bit too much. These are low quality women, and don't come at them on some I can change your life type bullshit. Because a lot of brothers I've seen do some shit like that, and I'll be the first one to tell you I used to do some shit like that. Like, baby, I can change your life and all. Fuck that shit. They want to be. They want to be at that level. Keep them at that level, and just come at them with the real. If they ain't feel you, it is what it is. But don't put too much into it. You're putting too much into it to a point where you're getting your emotional vibes twisted and turned out. Now you're angry and you're literally pushing every woman away from you because your vibe, man. Women can feel vibes from guys. You know what I'm saying? Women feel vibes when a guy's broke. He feels when he's scarce. You know what I'm saying? The way some guys, O'Shea, when you didn't have money and you trying to flirt with a girl, it's literally on your vibe, brother. Yeah. And women feel that thing. So get yourself right. Start to learn to value yourself and reconsider your value, how you value women, man, and how you value women. And I think it'll make yourself better for it.
You know, I really can concur. I think, you know, a lot of the brothers that like you, and I would say like this, and shout out to Brandon Nell, man, for the super chat of $15. I just want to say this, and I won't keep it too long, but what I want to say is for all the brothers out there that listen to this brother is successful, black man. He has dedicated a lot of his free time to helping people. Now he does get paid off of ads on YouTube, stuff like that for shows, but he's a guy that doesn't have to do that. He's telling you when you have your own shit, people gonna cooperate with you.
Yeah,
that's just what it is.
Absolutely, absolutely, O'Shea. I mean, when you're doing your own thing, man, cooperation comes. You know, again, when women respect you know, they recognize authority figures. You know what I'm saying? Black women do. That's why they, you know, when a white man is talking to them, they take the bass out of their voice. If you ever notice, they understand authority. They understand position and power. So it's not like black women don't know. They know. And when they have a brother who's doing his own thing, making his own money, and doesn't necessarily answer to another figure, they're going to give him cooperation, man. But you got to put yourself in that situation to deserve that.
And once again, man, I really definitely agree. Now, once again, brother, I know you're very busy. What part are you? What part of? I'm not saying asking where you are in the United States, but what part of the country are you in?
Well, right now I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay. I came down here because there's some good. I'm thinking about getting into some real estate, and there's some very good affordable properties here in North Carolina in particular. The state is just booming like crazy. A lot of people from the north are coming in.
Big banking state too. Also.
Yeah, good banking state as well too. So there's an opportunity. People who couldn't necessarily get in the door in New York, you can come down here to Charlotte and get a position. You know,
my buddy worked American Charlotte right after he's got his MBA from Harvard.
Yeah,
so he went down there.
Wow. Yeah, but go ahead, O'Shea. I mean, I got time all day, man. I got you know, I'm not gonna keep you on for all night, but whatever.
Oh no, I can work for another friend. And shout out to Todd W41. Man, Todd W41, he got a suit on this profile, so you know that nigga got some goddamn money. So shit. Let's do this. Stop the goddamn show, everybody. Let's do this. We got 80, we had 109 people liking. I need all the brothers to go over to my man's channel. He is really kicking ass, man. Happy Penny Stock. And like I said, fam, I really want you to keep coming back if I can get you to come back.
Oh, no doubt. I will.
And I fucked around and fucked up and put this on my other channel when I wanted to rock it on my, but I'm gonna actually download the video and just put it on my main, so that way it gets to get seen both ways. But here's what I want to ask you. Just off the finance off the finance stuff, because you know, there has been some things going on with black male YouTube as of late. You know, we have the Tommy situation, and Tariq Nasheed had a situation a few weeks ago. Do you think as black people, black men, we are so much focused on entertainment and a little bit too much of drama that we don't focus too much on stuff like this?
Yeah, I mean, but I think there's something, you know, to it. I think black people are, you know, attracted to sensationalized negativity, and you know that comes from a very, you know, deep and negative place, brother. And I think it's something that, again, if you know, hey man, I'm focusing too much on this negative bullshit, you can change, you know, in yourself and each other. So it's just people taking the time to recognize, you know, look, I want to, you know, focus on what's going to empower me and what's going to make me feel good, and not waste my time. You know, my thoughts on Tommy. I mean, I think he got smacked up somewhere in New York or whatever. I mean, this is a brother that's, you know, for whatever people say about him, you know, again, when you put a certain energy out there, man, you know, what you put out there is what you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? And he's put out some dangerous energy out there towards some people, and you know, some people unfortunately haven't responded the most positive way. But he created that bed, you know, and now he's putting himself in a situation where he's literally being physically harmed when he goes out. And as for Tariq, man, he's on it, man. This guy's brother's got a business. He's putting out movies. That's what I'm talking about. A brother who's taken, writing books and his Mac lessons and leveraged it into an opportunity to provide for his family. So I don't have it. I think, those brothers are doing their thing, and people are enjoying it. But it's so sad that some people are looking to take advantage of those situations to create, instability and online Black entertainment for whatever it is.
Let's talk about a few things, and I just check your email, man. I know you're already balling, but I mean, I just wanted to show my appreciation, man. So I went to your channel and donated to you, man. So I just want to let you know, thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
I ain't got the ball or money like you yet, man.
Oh, no, thank you though. Appreciate it, bro.
I just want to let you know I appreciate you, fam, for because as brothers are supporting me right now on the show. I wanted to also support you. So I thank you, brothers, for supporting me. And that's what I like to say, brothers, when you see brothers working together like this, when you guys give to me, I give to other people. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's how we're trying to do this and keep this in the family. So let me ask you this. With, things going on in Africa, right? And okay. I know that your family is from the Congo originally. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that as African Americans, and we are missing an opportunity by not, because I know we talk about the investment in stocks. What about the investment in Africa? I know your dad is still in import exports. Are we missing a big opportunity as African Americans? I know you're not African American, but you definitely know how we think. You are really one of us now. Yeah. Are we really missing an opportunity by being ignorant about what Africa has to offer?
Yes and no. Yes, because the Black people who have the ability to invest in Africa should be investing in Africa. It's expensive to do so with the way it is now, because, people, and I honestly believe that the dominant society has made it very easy to buy stocks in Germany, to buy stocks in Canada, but you can't get access to the African exchanges. Why? Because people like me and you would be interested in buying some access to those companies. So it's a point of investment now where it's expensive to go out and try and buy shares of, some big concrete cement companies in Nigeria that are, because Nigeria has a stock exchange. Kenya has a stock exchange. South Africa has a stock exchange. Yes, sir. So, O'Shea, the ability to invest in those exchanges is possible, but it requires a lot of capital. Now, E-Trade and all these other banks could easily network with these exchanges and create that avenue. But I honestly believe that they don't want people to have access to those things. And right now, the only people who have access to really investing in Africa are, the major banks and institutions that play a role in how, Africa operates. You know what I mean? So that goes into a lot of other deeper stuff. But they honestly don't believe that they want us to be able to have access to Africa, because, when we have African entrepreneurs who are able to digitally connect with people like me and you on this side of the border and literally be financed by us, oh man, it's game over for, it's game over for the UK. It's game over for America. Why would I not want to invest in a brother who has a plot of land in Ghana and has a Ghanaian gold company or something like that? Why would I even bother to invest here in the United States? South Africa is the largest producer of platinum and gold in the world. Mm-hmm. Why don't we have access to be able to buy stocks in South Africa? Because they don't want us, people like you and me, to really have access to those links. So right now, the ability to trade is possible, but it's so expensive, it doesn't make worthwhile for the average individual investor.
Let me go back and top W41. Damn, my brother got cash today. $10. My man Doug from the HU, the real HU, Hampton University, been here. Great show, and hope to see this brother more in the Negro Manosphere. We do have financial articles on the Negro Manosphere by a CPA named Josh Solito, although it's not penny stocks. Okay. So we will be trying to get more towards that. We do have a new survivalism column that's coming out every week. So we're brothers. We are getting better. So thank you for your support. Here's what I want to ask you, because I noticed you talked about the real estate in Charlotte, how it's booming. Charlotte is definitely doing great. But back to Africa, when it comes to real estate, the Negro Manosphere, for example, has a lot of readers coming from Lagos State in Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
And because I have two writers from shout out to Sylvanus Omanoni Buabari out of Port Harcourt, Nigeria. But what I've noticed is I was like, wow, man, the blog is really getting some traction from Lagos. I would really be interested in maybe selling there for a few months.
Oh yes,
not right now, but at some point. And I noticed that even the property in your best neighborhoods in Lagos, like Banana Island and stuff like that, it's ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that, because the real estate in Africa, even I don't know if you know this. I was just in Uganda 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Did you? I don't know if you. I don't know if you were aware of that, but
yeah, I did see that video. Yes, I did see that.
Oh, video. You saw that? Okay. So I was in Uganda, and even in some of not even the better parts of Uganda, man, where people are making $100, $200 a month. A nice 3-4 bedroom house, man, could cost you easily $150,000, $200,000, and not even in the best neighborhood. So the real estate in Africa is super expensive. Again, so my question to you is: are African Americans, besides going to Europe for vacations, we're going to different other places to go, are we missing an opportunity by not just even going to the Congo, any other francophone country, and just at least looking what's there and seeing what we can bring there?
Absolutely. One thing you got to understand about when you look through those sites and you're on the ground, you really want to have somebody who's local that can show you the real deals. See, when you're going on those websites, you are looking at situations where that person behind who owns that property could be someone from another country, or it could be a well-educated African who knows that, hey, there are people in America who are willing to pay this price, right? He's not giving you the local price, right? He's not giving you the opportunity to invest or buy that property for what he would sell his fellow countrymen. So you've got to understand, when it comes time to doing real estate in Africa, you want to go to the country and not necessarily be in the touristy area. You might want to be just a little bit outside, or you might want to work through somebody else who can get you a local price on a property. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when it comes to property in Africa, if you go there with, hey, I'm an American, I'm here to buy, you're going to get the American price.
Right.
You're going to get the American price. But if you go work through a country person, work through somebody like a good lawyer or someone like that, or somebody on the ground who can, who understands you and you're working with them and they seem legit, you're going to get a good price of property. You're going to get a solid price of property. There's no doubt in my mind. In fact, I've seen it. I've already seen it. There are properties you can still get for $15,000, $30,000, $40,000 near some of those very expensive homes. But again, you've got to work with an intermediary who knows the area, who knows the people, and also try to make sure that the person who owns the property too is a local. You know what I'm saying? You also want to work with the local, or even build your property there, because even building the property won't cost you that much. So there are different ways to go about investing in Africa, but get on the ground, get somebody local, and stay out of the touristy areas, because that's where the guys hike up the prices, because they know you're going to pay. They know these white folks from Europe are going to pay. So right. That's where it is.
When's the last time you actually been back to Africa or to Congo?
I was in. I haven't been to Congo since 2007, but I was in Ghana in August of last year.
Now, how was talk about your Ghana experience, as far as even the visa and all that stuff, and why did you take a trip over to Ghana?
I went to Ghana because mostly the history, and there's some beautiful tours in Ghana. Didn't need a visa, so just kind of showed up there, and I was only there for two and a half weeks, and it's a beautiful, beautiful country, beautiful people, not expensive. I didn't feel like it was too expensive. I actually flew into Accra and went into another local city called Kumasi, and beautiful women. The sisters there are just shaped like gods.
A lot of big booties.
Oh man, I mean, but that's just the continent of Africa. You know what I'm saying? The continent, just like you talked about in Uganda. A fatty out here gets everybody's neck turning, but in Africa, it's just like another woman. You know what I'm saying? So she attended. She don't even
know. Congo or in Ghana.
I think about the same, man. I think if anywhere you're talking about a black country, bro, and you gonna have women with the fat ass. You know what I'm saying? So that gene is all over through Central Africa, West Africa, East Africa, and Southern Africa. So I think about it's about the same. But again, beautiful women. Obviously Ghana, the well educated. It's a former British colony. So well-run country, beautiful nation, beautiful people, nice people.
Drive on the right side of the road.
Yes. So, beautiful people, beautiful country. Yes, indeed.
Let me ask you this. Now, when I went to Uganda, obviously where I was staying had a generator.
Okay.
I know Kwame Nkrumah built the Volta Dam with the Kaiser Aluminum Company in steel. So they actually have a pretty good electric power source.
Yes, they do.
How was your electricity when you're in Ghana?
Yeah, it was excellent. I didn't have any problems at all at the bed and breakfast I stay. I don't like staying at at hotels. I'm ever since terrorism, I just don't go to big hotels. I like bed and breakfast places. Yeah, it was fine with me. I mean, Ghana is one of those lucky countries that had that natural resource, that dam that they use for power. And I know they've, as the nation has been building and they haven't necessarily grown to scale. So they've had some issues, but I didn't have any issues while I was there. I had hot water. I had everything I needed and food. I mean, it was all good. It was all good when I was there.
What about let's talk about this, because when we are, doing a stream like this, and I'm in Poland, I have orange internet now, even though Poland is not the United States, it's still in the European Union. So I can get, very fast internet and we can do a stream like this. What about in Ghana? I mean, I don't know if you were YouTubing at that particular time, but could you do your show from Ghana and operate like this?
Yes, I could do my show from Ghana. Here's the thing though. Now, if you're in the capital city, that's where all the internet providers are. It's in Accra, Ghana, which is the capital city. Now, as you leave the major city and go into the secondary towns like Accra and whatnot, there's still internet providers there, but they tend to be through wireless, and then the signals aren't always as strong. But like within
LTE,
the city,
4G, stuff like that.
Yeah, 4G and whatnot. So within Accra, Ghana, I was able to get about 30 megabytes per second. And that was enough. Yeah, that was enough that I could do whatever. And now it's not internet that maybe a local person could afford, because I was paying like 55 US. But I did like the fact that they didn't have any like, what's the word for it? Limits on the internet. So
okay.
There weren't any limits or anything like that. So it wouldn't be internet that a local would use. Obviously, somebody who's paying that much wants good quality internet, and probably a foreigner. So yeah, but you're able to stream and do whatever you want to do.
Okay, let me ask this question for the brother that and shout out to everybody in here and keep coming to likes. Truth7360_ says, great information. Is it possible that we can create a corporation to invest in Africa? Okay, so I think what we gotta understand is this. Before I'll let you answer the question, Africa is like 54 countries. I don't think there's a corporation that you can just invest in like the continent. I think you have to start at least with one country first. But I'm gonna ask you this: if there was a country that you could start a corporation with, Black American investors that you think that we could be able to seize on, what country would that be if you could pick out of all 54 countries? Knowing your investor mind, you want to start low and build up. What country in Africa that if you could invest in, you're willing to roll the dice on right now?
Man, right now, it'd be a close one, but I would probably say South Africa. Now, some people may say South Africa and they'll say, well, that's pretty developed nation. Well, if you want to start up, you want things to go right from the beginning, right? So true. I would go to South Africa because the banking environment is on par with America and in Europe. The ability for you to get money back and forth is well, structured. And there are still opportunities for you to invest in, their major cities like Johannesburg, Cape Town. There's still significant upside in South Africa. I think, the shanty towns and all that, you still got, a lot of opportunities for somebody to go in there with a great, and plus they have a situation where, they are black people who want to work with other black people. Now they have their issues. I know there's some South Africans who feel like, oh, everybody's taking our country and whatnot. But I think if you go in there with the right mindset that you want to partner and grow and, skill trade with people, I think South Africa would be a great place to get started. Now, when you have expendable capital that you're willing, that, doesn't necessarily have to go right away, then you can go to places, like a Uganda, like a Nigeria, like a Ghana, where you may not get a return on your capital as soon as possible.
Okay. So what you're looking for is, if you were to do, you're looking for primarily, infrastructure, like, and if it's not South Africa, where would you be looking at if it's not South Africa?
If it's not South Africa, then I'm going to Ghana. I would say Ghana after South Africa. If not Ghana, man, after that, you're probably looking at, I would like maybe even Kenya probably would be fine after that, Kenya, and then maybe Tanzania after that, and then maybe Uganda. I know some people are probably thinking Nigeria, but man, Nigeria is like, if you're not a warrior, man, don't go invest in Nigeria, because Nigeria is about you got to be a warrior to invest in Nigeria. It requires a shout out to all my Nigerians. They are no doubt the most unapologetically African people on the continent, the probably best business people. But you got to be a warrior, man. If you
especially the Igbo people, they are really
right. And shout out to the people. You can learn a lot from them. All of us on the continent of Africa can learn a lot from Nigeria, but they unfortunately have, situations where the people in power aren't letting the country be as great as they need to be. That's the problem with Nigeria.
They keep going back to ex-dictators, Obasanjo.
Yeah, they're doing that, and Nigeria. The thing, the problem with Nigeria is that it's people don't see it, but it's controlled by families. It's controlled by wealthy families who find ways to stay in power by intermarrying with each other, and it's almost people don't even realize that a lot of these presidents that they've recently had, they've got cousins who are married to each other in certain parts of the family. So it's almost like an aristocracy, and people don't realize it, and they're corrupt, and the military is kind of a lot of good people in the military, but a lot of corrupt people, and it's a lot of corruption in Nigeria. And if they could figure out a way to maintain the proper structure and all that, but at the same time get rid of this aristocracy that they have of powerful families that overrun everything, Nigeria would be it could be with the same level as Germany and many of the other European countries.
Absolutely.
They got the money, they got the skill, they got the education. Some of the smartest. I mean, Nigeria graduates hundreds of thousands of intelligent, bright people every single year, but the government doesn't provide them with the necessary resources to really use their talents, and it's sad.
Let's talk about, now, and shout out, like I said, Nigeria, and for those people, the Negro Manosphere, we advertise in Nigeria almost daily. So if you guys don't believe that Nigeria is the real deal, I've had some not too nice things to say about Nigerians, but I do love them like I love African Americans. I have deep criticisms of both people, because I expect that those two people can change the shape of the Black diaspora across the world. But Nigeria, like you said, we can learn a lot from them. They have the second biggest, at least, movie industry, with if not the second or third, Nollywood. They created a $3 billion industry. So we can talk about Nigerians all we want. We got to give them credit for Nigerian. They own their own music industries. They own their own movie industry, and we have plenty of Black producers, man, that can run laps around Nigerians as far as film producing. But you know what? They have their. If you go to Uganda, you cannot even go to Ghana. If you go to any club, you're going to hear 80% of Nigerian music being played.
Wow.
they have that much, power of the continent. And, I just want to say that a lot of African Americans who I feel have a lot of talent in those fields, but not capitalizing. Look at the Nollywood movie industry. I mean, they're on Netflix, and look at the opportunities that we are missing, but not even dealing with these brothers out here who probably would want to work with you. And for whatever reason, we have this little bullshit thing between blacks and Africans that we can't get together. So what do you think about that? Let's talk about that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
No, I mean, just absolutely. And it just came to my mind, just as, what you're doing by going to Poland and getting that education to put yourself on a better platform. Maybe a brother who's not being able to make his way here, maybe make your way over there and see what you can learn from some of these people, or what you can do to network, or, you might be a big star in Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? You being American, speak English, man, people will put you in a movie hella quick to be able, the fact that you have that accent. You know what I'm saying? That American accent. You could be in a movie and do some things and break out over there. Who knows? So right. Be bold, man. Be bold out here, because you only got one life, and you don't want to be the brother who's in his 50s and his 60s wishing he did this and that. And I commend you, O'Shea, for being out there in another country, doing what you got to do to move your life forward, and be an example to other brothers who, can say, hey, man, maybe I should, get my money up and see what I can make happen, in another part of the world. Worst case scenarios, you're gonna end up right back at your mama house. I mean, so that's just, there's nothing to it. So take a risk and jump. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it, man. The best risk I took was coming here. I was dead broke. I'm still pretty not that, but I ain't as broke as I was. I'm loving what I'm doing. I get to connect with people like this brother right here. I can never meet these kind of people, in real life all of that. But YouTube really open that up. Yeah. The websites open things up. I'm telling you, brothers, the life is yours. You can take it if you want. So, man, listen, man, I don't really have too much to say. I'm gonna get back to doing my farm, but I really appreciate you coming by. Go ahead, let everybody know, man, where they can find you at again. I'm gonna put your stuff in the.
Yes, you can go on YouTube, type in the American Investor Show. That channel right now, these white folks got me banned now, so I'm on a little punishment until October. So right now my live show is being held at Penny Stocks Unlimited. So you can search Penny Stocks Unlimited, I pop right up. And that's my other channel that I'm broadcasting live from now. So those two channels are out there. Subscribe. Definitely let other people know about it. Come into my live shows, which are Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, about an hour each. I remember about an hour a day, hour and a half. We tend to go over a lot sometimes too, so they end up being 2-hour shows sometimes, where we're just talking about investing, how to grow your money, how to start trading, and we're giving a lot of tactics and how-tos. So a lot of people get a lot from it, and I hope you come on and join us over there. So looking forward to having you. I appreciate this platform so much, O'Shea. Thank you.
No problem. Like I said, the next time we come back, I don't know why I got my emails confused, but definitely we're going to be on the main. I'm going to put this on. This will get a pretty good amount of views. I just really want to say, man, I thank you, brother, for coming on. I've heard about you. You heard about me, but we now have a chance to connect. And I got a pretty good sized fan base that really needs me watching you. So please, man, come over and join us, man, on this side of YouTube, man, because we definitely need brothers like you who are intelligent, who are bright. A lot of brothers, man, really appreciated you coming over today. They've asked for me to bring a brother over like you that understands this and has a very good credibility. So shout out to Super Sly 75. He put me on to you, and that's a good brother, man. It's good that brothers are working together, and that's what we need. We need brothers working together.
Absolutely, man. Getting that, getting that envy and jealousy out the way, and understanding there's more than enough for everybody, man. And again, that goes to what I said earlier about not operating from a scarcity mindset. There's more than enough for everybody out here. It's just how bad you want it.
Right. And shout out to you. But before I go, one of my good buddies that actually came here, he's from another Francophone country, but not from the Congo, but he is from Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. And he still has like that. They have a really interesting accent because it sounds like an African accent mixed with French. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The West Africans. Yeah, people from Nigeria sound different than people from Benin or from Gambia, you know, or Liberia. Liberians have completely different accents.
Oh man, they have like almost like down south, but we're
right.
Liberia. It's kind of crazy, man.
Right. And by the way, there's some beautiful sisters in Nigeria too. So
I'm about to talk to you about Liberia, man, before you go, because
look, Liberia. Here's the thing about Liberia, because I like your idea about going to Africa and live, because I plan on doing this eventually when I can see like my money being autopilot enough where I can just live in another country, particularly in Africa.
Sure.
Liberia man, it's an English speaking country. You would think off the top of your head that would be the place to go, but man, their infrastructure is garbage.
It's terrible.
Banking is just, it doesn't work, man. But they're about 10 years from actually doing something good. But Liberia, man, it's a beautiful country. I've never been there, but I definitely want to go. And it's an English speaking country too. So your money goes far as hell in Liberia because of where it is now, because it's kind of almost like Haiti. I mean, it's basically like Haiti on the continent of Africa.
Yeah, Liberia is and it's still corrupt. As all get out. You know, I know they have Sirloff, Ellen Johnson. People been singing her praises, man. But Liberia is still very corrupt and fucked up.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, Sirloff, she's a good woman, but I mean, she's still controlled by the European banks. In fact, one of the girls I'm talking to, that I'm considering bringing over from Africa to wife up, man. She's from Liberia.
Okay,
beautiful sisters out there, man. And so all you single brothers out there, if you just can't get your head right on black women here, please go, snatch up some of these African sisters out there.
They got some big booties.
Oh yeah, big behinds. But not only that, I mean, they're gonna be, faithful to you. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be faithful to you. They're gonna support you. Because a lot of these sisters, I don't have no problem saying that as an African, because a lot of these sisters, they're gonna live their whole life in Africa, and it may not be as great of a life as they could have if they meet a young brother from America who, you ain't got to be a millionaire, but if you're taking care of home and putting food on the table, she gonna be your number two. So that's what it is.
Okay, that's that's a lot of brothers are doing that, man. They're going to different places. So once again, man, I really want to thank you for coming on, man. Appreciate your knowledge on the topic, guys. We will be back tonight with a very interesting show. It ain't gonna. I had to get my educational shit out first. Tonight is gonna be eating booty like groceries. Some of you niggas is nasty, and I hate to talk about this, but we actually gonna do this dumbass show. And I know this is stupid, but I'm gonna do it anyway because Steve the Dean has this plastic booty. You guys been seeing it, and we want to just get this shit cracking tonight on my main channel. So it's gonna be crazy. So again, Sal, thanks for coming on, bro. I really thank you for coming on. T-Pain, what's up? I see you. And then also let me do this for all my so Doug, all of the people that are moderators, if you guys want to see, if you have a PC, if you guys want to see the ebook that I have, right? And let me go ahead and do this real quick because I'll be forgetting. Let me do this. So for all my moderators, I'm gonna give you guys a sample of the ebook that I just got from the person that's helping me with it. So let me do this because I got an ebook coming out, Sal.
No, that's what's up. Yeah, there it is. That's cash flow, bro. That's cash flow.
I'm about to give it away though. I mean, I ain't gonna let.
Oh man, not even 99 cents, not even 1.99. I mean, brother, you put money into to create it. At least cover your expenses.
I know.
I mean, look, if nobody is willing, brother, if somebody's not willing to spend 99 cents to support what you're doing, brother, that's not even somebody you want to waste your time with. Honestly, I would.
That is true. That is true.
You know what I mean? So that's you should be at least covering your expenses, and you should be making money. You know what I'm saying? That's right. Do not.
But I did promise them. I promised them already, so I got to give it to them. So
okay, all right.
But the next one, charge you niggas a collard green sandwich or fries or something. So this is what I'm gonna do. You guys email me at Planet Ocean. All my moderators. I got high defs information already. So Doug, basically, or if you want to drop your email, I don't know your email offhand. I don't think I'll send you the copy of the ebook. Howard Cooper, if you want to look at it, you can email me too. Just send an email. What was the ebook sample? So I'll send you guys the first 10 pages. Will be where we're looking at. And so Laquan, all you guys email me at planetoshea And I know who your email is, so don't be no regular person that ain't a moderator. And I don't know your ass. Don't try to be stupid, but you need to be at a PC to be able to look at it. So Laquan, you guys all email me. I'll show you. I want your opinion on this. And again, Sal, I'll even send it to you, Sal, if you want.
Okay. Appreciate it.
So you can check it out. So it's just a sample or a draft or something. So let me know what you think. And again, thank you for all of that. And it's just not Laquan, it's not about being registered at the Manosphere. It's just it's something totally separate from the website. So I got Doug. So let me do this real quick. So you guys keep dropping your emails. That's a moderator, so I could just send this to you on the group. I already got high defs, I believe. But again, man, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate you, fam. And I'll talk to you on email, and we can set up another date. We can come back, okay?
We'll do. Thank you, O'Shea. Appreciate it. Shout out to all the people watching now and in the future, as always. Thanks a lot. God bless.
Peace out.